Hi everyone, Drina here from drinaburton.com and fasciaflow.com. Today I'm talking about rebounding. A lot of you have been asking to have more information about rebounders because I talk about them a lot in my emails and on social media. Rebounding is a big part of my wellness and fitness routine. In my 50s, I use it most days, if not every day, every other day. And I'm not talking an hour a day. I'm talking 10 to 15 minutes, very doable, manageable amounts of rebounding. The first thing I want to mention about rebounding is when I post videos online, people always go, oh my gosh, I could never do that, because I think we feel like rebounding is like an outdoor trampoline. And it's really not. It's a push down more than a jump up. And so sometimes we do jump up, but it's more of a push down. Beyond that, you can use your rebounder for core strength, for strength training, for meditating, yoga. You can use it for fascia flow like I do. So it's really a piece of equipment that can carry over into other modalities. So you can do Pilates with the rebounder, etc. So today I'm showing you two models. I have been using a Bellicon for a long time, and I'm a bit biased because I have used it for a long time, but it's not the only rebounder that I've ever used. And then I was given the opportunity to try out the BCan. And I was a little hesitant to do this video because I know I am a bit biased towards the Bellicon, but I thought it was a good opportunity to show you some of the differences between the two rebounders so that when you're out looking for a rebounder, you can find what speaks to you. I think the most important thing with a rebounder is how it feels when you're bouncing on it. And that's a bit tricky because when we order online, of course, we don't get the chance to try it out. If you have the opportunity to try out someone else's rebounder, go into their home, a friend has a rebounder, try it out, or go to a fitness center maybe that has them, or a fitness shop that sells rebounders where you can get on them and try. That's a really good idea just to sense it in your body, especially if you're new to rebounding. So the first thing with ordering a rebounder is when it arrives at your door and assembling the rebounder. It can be a bit daunting to receive the parts of a rebounder and put it together. And I have had many readers who have ordered a rebounder and they just kind of like, I'm not ready to put it together. But once you take it out and get going with it, it usually doesn't take more than about a half hour to 45 minutes to assemble it. Now, with a Bellicon, you can order it pre-assembled, meaning it comes to your door like this, okay? And you have to pay extra for that, but it's definitely a nice option for people that really don't want to take on the assembling and putting in the bungees, because that's really the hardest part, is working the bungees around the frame. The BCan comes pre-assembled, and so much like you can order the Bellicon pre-assembled, the BCan will come that way as well. So there's no option to order it fully assembled. I've put both together, and I will say that I found the BCan a little more difficult to assemble. It does come with a tool to pull the bungees, which is nice. It's pretty handy. But afterwards, there are some elastics that have to come around the rebounder, and I just wasn't quite sure whether I was putting those on correctly or what their purpose was. And it just seemed a little more complicated. The Bellicon, it was more straightforward. So it's not that it's hard, it's just the Bellicon was a little more straightforward to actually assemble. The next thing to talk about is customizing your rebounder. So there are a few things to consider, being the size of the rebounder and color, if that's important to you, and bungee strength. Now, I will touch on, with the first time that I had a rebounder, it was a spring-loaded rebounder. I'm not sure if they even make those now, they might, but that is one you want to really stay away from. They don't feel great on the body and they're very noisy. Most rebounders now come with bungees. Both of these have bungees. The BCan does not give options for bungee strength. The Bellicon does. The BCan comes in 2 sizes and Bellicon comes in 3 sizes. This one here is a 48 inch. It's a really nice size, and the Bellicon is a 44. So I'm just going to step up and you might see the difference between the size of the mat and the frame. People ask me often if you need a bigger size than the 44. I don't feel you do. This is a really nice surface to work on. It's big enough. If you have a very small space, you might even want to go a little bit smaller. But I feel like this is a good size, and the 48 inch is also a really nice size to work with. Next, let's talk about the actual frame and the manufacturing and warranty. So the BCan is manufactured in China and it has a 1-year warranty, and you can reach out for their customer support and receive an answer within 24 hours. The Bellicon is manufactured in Germany. It's Swiss engineered, manufactured in Germany in an area that's really renowned for quality manufacturing, and really you feel it in the frame. And they have a lifetime warranty on the frame and also a responsive customer support team online. Now, I will mention about the bungees and the frame because I've had this one for a long time. It still looks pretty new, but I used the original bungees for too long, like over 10 years. And one day I was bouncing and one of them just slipped away. Nothing happened. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, I fell off the rebounder. It was just like, oh. And when I reached out to them, they said, yeah, you should probably change the bungees more often. So if you're using your rebounder fairly often, you're going to want to look at changing those bungees out every 3 to 5 years or so, maybe 5 years. I mean, mine lasted over 10, but I will say when I got the new bungees, wow, it felt amazing to bounce on my rebounder. It was like a whole new world to have those fresh bungees. So that support for the joints just feels really good. And the bungees are a big part of your rebounder. Coming back to color and bungee strength, let's talk about bungee strength first, because that's really the most important. When you order a BCan, it's predetermined bungee strength. When you're ordering a Bellicon, it will guide you through prompts to enter your weight and your height, and that helps determine the bungee strength. So that will give you a more customized feel for the bounce based on your height and weight. And with Bellicon, you can also modify to order a different color with the mat, the bungees, and I think the frame as well. So if you want to mix it up with colors, I'm all black here, but you have that option with Bellicon. Okay, let's talk price. BCan retails at about $150 US on Amazon, and that price may fluctuate with Amazon offers. Bellicon starts at $5.99 US, and during the year, Bellicon will offer certain promo codes. Like during Black Friday, I offer them through my email, so you can often get a discount on Bellicon during those promotion periods. And then if you're a little bit older, and I mean over 40, I'm in my 50s, price is not the biggest consideration. You really want to make sure you feel good in your body when you're bouncing. And that's where the Bellicon comes in for me. I think the BCan is a good option if you're younger, when you're a little bit older, or if you want something that you know you're going to have for basically life. I've had this one for over 12 years and it feels like new, and just changing out the bungees every maybe 5 years or so. When I'm on my rebounder, it feels joyful, it feels good in my body, I feel secure and stable, and my joints feel quite suspended. So that's a big factor. When you're older, you have other considerations that you really want to support your body with your movement. So included with your purchase of a Bellicon is a membership for 6 months free to their Bellicon Plus platform. And this is their video library of workouts from rebounding to Pilates to yoga, strength training on their platform. There are different trainers, styles of video, length, beginner, advanced, etc. So you can search on the video library and find videos that you want to work with. Now let's talk about the bouncing, the most important part. So I'm going to show you how it looks and feels to bounce on both of these rebounders. Okay, here I am on the Bellicon. This is called a closed chain bounce, where my feet aren't actually leaving the rebounder. I'm just pushing down into the surface. This is a really good way to start using any rebounder and offers benefits. Just this alone is increasing lymph flow. It's good for your proprioception, balance, and it also is firing up stability muscles in the body. So this is how it feels to just start and push down into the rebounder. So of course, I'm very familiar with this mat. It feels good. It feels supportive in my body and my joints. And then I'm just going to take it up to a light bounce. So from a light bounce, we can do jacks and twists and all kinds of things. But basically, the feet are leaving the mat. On the Bellicon, it feels very supportive. I feel like my joints are suspended and it just feels comfortable. It feels good in the knees and the low back. Yeah, and then I'm just going to come down to my closed chain bounce again. So now I'm on the BCan with the closed chain bounce. And right away, the tension feels different. There's a very tight tension with the bungees and the mat, which you may enjoy. And now I'm going to just take it up to a bounce. And again, you can twist. So what I notice with this rebounder is that it feels like I'm bouncing on a couple of mats on the floor, like as if I had 2 or 3 yoga mats stacked and I was on the floor bouncing. It doesn't provide the same suspension in the joints. And when I worked with this one for 5-10 minutes, I noticed I was feeling the impact in my low back and my knees. I also notice, because you may see, the frame is quite different. The frame on the BCan is thinner and the legs are thinner. The Bellicon has a much thicker, feels more durable frame. And sometimes it feels as if the legs are moving slightly on the BCan. Coming back to the Bellicon, it's a very different bounce. The support, the suspension is really different, and I feel very secure on it. It never feels like it's shifting or moving. Okay, I'm back sitting on the mat, which, by the way, you can do a lot of core work on your Bellicon and even bouncing on your bum. I just want to show you this. Bouncing on your bum works the core. And also sitting this way and pushing your heels into the mat and bouncing will work your core. And it's a lot of fun too. It fires up those core muscles and it feels great. So I hope this video helps you explore the world of rebounding. Of course, there are many rebounders on the market to look into. I had the opportunity to try the BCan. I've been using the Bellicon for well over a decade and love it. So of course, I am a fan of Bellicon, and for my age and my body, this is the rebounder that I would recommend. But I wanted to give you an honest review of both so that depending on your needs, you can go out and explore and find a rebounder that works for you. So I hope it helps. If you have any questions, of course, reach out by email or online, social media. And if you like the video, please give it a little like. And yeah, reach out if you have any questions. Thank you for watching.